share with you is called Female Teacher at 20,000 a Year Girls School is forced to apologize to pupils for saying good afternoon, girls. So this is the outline of my today's presentation. First, I will give a little bit introduction of the news. It's kind of timeline. And the second one, I will discuss gender identity and LGBTQ with you guys. And for the final part, I will give my conclusion and reflection to you guys. So let's start from our first part. So it's a very ordinary day. The teacher stepped into the classroom and she just said, "Good afternoon, girls." So it's just like a very simple greetings, and it seems like they don't have many questions. However, the student said, not everyone here identifies as females. And even one student stood up and challenged teacher to acknowledge their pronouns. However, the teacher said, if your pronouns different from biological sex, I will need to involve parents. Yeah, so because of this, next day when the teacher stepped into the classroom again, she found out that the board is being written down their names and pronouns on the board. Yeah, so it's kind of their protest to the teacher. And they also hold a lunchtime protest against her. And the topic is Trans Lives Matter. So they try to emphasize the importance of gender identity and also want to arise the awareness of this topic. So with more and more students participated in this event, and the things getting bigger. So the teacher was forced to apologize publicly, but according to her, it was very embarrassing and humiliating. And because of this event, it inspired much more related activities in this campus. For example, the student also delivered an assembly on gender and pronouns. They give a video discuss these topics and also the sex that assigned at birth. And how about the teacher? Yeah, she was managed out of the school. But I don't think it's entirely her problem, because in that school, it does have a regulations about it. It has a policy to ban applications from students who are legally male but identified as trans or non-binary. Yeah, so it's kind of a regulation that are not very equal. Yeah, so you can see that the society is not very friendly to this kind of group and lack of understanding. So do you know what is gender identity? Gender identity is the personal sense of one's own gender. And gender identity can correlate with a person's assigned sex or can differ from it. So in simple terms, gender identity is self-determined, not diagnosed. And it has a lot of kinds, maybe up 50. Yeah, so it can be simply divided into these 5 groups, which is cisgender, transsexual, androgyne, agender, which also called genderqueer. So I will introduce to you. The first one, cisgender, is someone who feels they are the same gender as the physical body they were born with. So for example, I'm female, and I also think I'm a female. Yeah, so I'm a cisgender. And the next one is trans, someone who feels that they are not the same gender as the physical body they was born with. Or maybe they feel it's not easy to fit in this gender. And next one is transsexual. Transsexual is different from trans and is a little bit easy to be mixed with. But transsexual is a person who has had medical treatment to change their sex. So they have some surgery to have some change on their body. And the next one is androgyne, someone who feels that they have 2 genders at the same time. And the next one is agender, and also the genderqueer. It's a person who does not consider that they belong to a particular gender. And speaking of the transsexual and queer, I think many of you may think of LGBTQ. So LGBTQ is a collective term for non-heterosexual communities. And L means lesbian, G stands for gay, and B is bisexual, T is transgender, and Q is queer. And how about a plus on that? A plus means they have much more possibilities in gender identity. So although LGBTQ is a very popular term in our generation, but it seems that society is not very friendly to them. So we can see the graph on the PPT. This is number of anti-LGBTQ bills introduced in each state legislative session by category. So I put the education category on here, and you can see from 2018 to 2023, it's getting more and more. And several statements have given a bill about forced outstanding, which means teachers are required to inform their parents when they found out that the students have different or maybe something needs to be alerting, like gender identities error. Yeah, so it's like obligations that teachers have to alert the parents. So 60 of the education-related bills introduced this year are forced outstanding bills, according to ACLU data. It's kind of big statistics. And next one is the number of education-related anti-LGBTQ bills introduced in each state's legislative session by category. So it's more detailed compared to the next one. So it has a lot of categories like curriculum, censorship, and forced outstanding, and youth aesthetics, and school facilities, book bans, and other school barriers. And I want to mention the last one, other school barriers. It includes two kinds of bills that would affect students' preferred pronouns. So the one bill is that they prohibit teachers to referring the student with their preferred pronouns. And the other one is that a teacher is allowed to refuse to do so. And now I'm going to give my conclusion and reflection. So when we're speaking to LGBTQ or gender identity, there are a lot of probabilities. The probability here means it's very wide, like your friend or your family may be one of the LGBTQ, or they have different gender identity, different from us. But you will never know, because this topic in Asian society sometimes a very private issue. So if you don't be thoughtful when mentioning the issue about gender, it might hurt somebody unintentionally. Yeah, so it's very important to be respect and embrace different gender identities. And this is the end of my presentation, and this is the source links I've used in my presentation. Thank you. Yes.
Why do you think that the students now react very strongly to these kind of issues? Do you think why is this phenomenon?
How do you mean?
Because you just say that the teacher just say "Good morning, girl," and some students feel they are not feeling very good. So I want to ask, what do you think about this kind of phenomenon?
Oh, you mean they are so intensive?
Yes.
Or something? I think it's normal, because when I was in senior high school, and I have a friend, and she is now in the Taida Sohui. Yeah, you know. Yeah, that kind of people. Yeah, so I'm going to share a impressive experience. So one time when I was chat with her, and also a lot of my friends were talking together, and one of my friends said, "Oh, I think your personality will be liked by many boys." And my friend is angry because she's lesbian. Yeah, and she thinks and she thought he was being ignored. And also she think that we are so narrow that we didn't respect the other group in our society. And she cried. And also she yelled at all of us. Yeah, and I was very shocked. But after that experience, I think I can relate it to the people who are in LGBTQ or have different gender identities. Yeah, because they are a respectively small group in the society. So it's very important that we have to give more our understanding and patience with them. Yeah.
I'm very curious that because when we meet someone we don't know, and it is hard for us to know his or her gender identity. So how should we call them? Is more proper.
You mean call them?
Call like in this case, the teacher said girls, but some people in the group disagree that. So what kind of like nouns the teacher should use is more proper.
Oh, in this era, we have a term called PC language, means political correct language. Yeah, so in political language, we didn't use the term that emphasize gender. We use person, people, or everyone instead of men and women. Yeah, so for example, like chairman, we usually say chairman, but now we try to use chairperson. Yeah. So I think in the news case, maybe teacher can say everyone or students like that instead of using girls. Yes.
I have a question for the story that you shared about your friends. Like one of your friends says your personality will be liked by many boys, but that doesn't mean she's personality will not be liked by other gender. So why is the disrespect? So why is that disrespectful?
Oh, because she think it's about like respect because there are a lot of groups in the society. Yeah, and we just said you will be liked by the boys. Then where is the girls? So if I'm a lesbian, I don't give respect to the other person, other people. So who do I like is not important like that. So she want us to use the term that can be more inclusive, not that kind of narrow.
Very good. Any further questions or comments? Yes.
Yeah.
So if you are not, so if you are a lesbian and someone tells you that the boys would like you about something, and so would you be mad and inquire that they didn't respect your gender or something?
If you are talking about me, and I don't, but because LGBTQ or gender identity is just their like what they think they were, but not represent their personality. So maybe my friend is the person who are much more well-tempered, and also she is intensive one. But there is also like lesbian is very gentle and very patient. Yeah, so it's not every like particular group will speak out every time. Yeah.
I didn't mean to speak out, so I mean that if you found it offensive.
Oh, you mean I?
Yeah,
well,
so
I think it is offensive.
If it harm your heart or your feelings.
Actually, I don't think so. Yeah, because I think it's just because at that situation we are just chatting casually. It's not a very formal situation. So I think my friends say the sentence like that is just not intentionally. So if I were my friend, I won't be so angry. But maybe I will think a little bit weird, but I won't say it out and I won't react so angrily. Yeah.
Good. So I think it's a very interesting discussion we have had here. So any further questions or comments? Okay, if not, then thank you very much for the mini presentation.
Thank you.